Hey y'all, in this example, I'm going to be showing you how to find the slope and y-intercept given a table of values. We've got a table given here, and sometimes we will see an x value of 0 right there in the table, and you can just locate it with your eye what the y value is, and you're done. But in a lot of cases, it's not given to you right off the bat, and so you have to find it. One way is you can just look at the pattern in the table and keep that pattern going, extend the table, figure out what the previous value is, or you can use a little bit of algebra to help you figure that out. I found that usually to be just a little bit more reliable. For this problem, since it does ask for the slope, I'm going to go ahead and use the slope formula. And that is m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That is the change in the y values over the change in the x values. Now you can pick any 2 points you want to pick from the table. I'm just going to stick with the first 2 points listed here. You can pick different ones if you feel like you like those numbers better. It really doesn't matter. You're going to end up with the same slope no matter what pair of points you choose. So these are x values. So I'm going to call this x1, x2, and these are y values. So I'm going to call these y1, y2. And then we're going to plug them into our formula and simplify. So once you do that, you should get -6 minus -4 over 3 minus 1. That simplifies to -2 over 2, which reduces to -1. Or I'm going to put it in fraction form, -1 over 1, because that's going to help me do a little bit of problem solving for my table of values. So basically what's going to happen here is I'm going to take that table and I'm going to back it up a little bit because I'm looking for not only the slope, but the y-intercept. For something to be a y-intercept, that means that the x value has to be 0. So I just need to back up my table one little rung and figure out what the y value would be at 0. I already have 1, and I already know the slope, so I don't really need to go any further than those 2 points. If it makes you feel better, you can go a little bit further. But basically what's happening here, what we're going to do with our table is this top value is representing the change in y. The symbol we use for change is a triangle. It's called delta. The change in y is -1, and the change in x is 1. And that came from my formula. The y values are on the top, the x values are on the bottom. So how much it's changing per unit is it's going down 1 per x value. So that's important because when I back up my table, I have to use the correct values. So if I'm going backwards, if I were to have 0, the x values are going up 1. That goes with the table. And the y values are going down 1. So for it to be going down 1, we would have had to have been at -3, because to go down 1 from -3 would be -4. And then I could continue my table just to check and make sure it goes. Down 1 more would be -5, -6, -7, and so on. And these are going up 1 for the x, so it would be 2, 3, 4, and so on. And then I can check and make sure that my values are matching up based on my pattern. 1 should be -4, 3 should be -6, and then you could keep going to check 6, 8, and 11. So you can see here, if you keep going, all of the values match up, and now we can see the y-intercept from the table is at 0, -3, which is what this problem was asking us for, and that's it. So that's all you have to do. You just have to find the pattern, back it up, and there you go. You could also write the equation of the line using the information that you have, and by doing that, you could see the y-intercept from the equation. So I kind of fast forwarded here to show quickly that if you were to use the slope that we found in the first step, and then I used the very first point in the table that was given, 1, -4. You could use any point that you want to for this because they're all on the same line, so you're going to get the same answer. But I used that first point, I plugged it into point slope form, simplified it out, moved everything to one side to get it to slope intercept form, And we can see from slope-intercept form that the slope is -1 and the y-intercept is -3. So that's all I have for this example. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'd be happy to help, and I'll see you in the next one.